I'm Wayne, this is Titan, and today I'm just going to jump into the video, and it's going to, obviously you've seen by the title, we're talking about beginner snakes, and this is my opinion. I won't let that be known, this is my opinion. Alright, so my opinion, there is really no such thing as a beginner snake. Yes, there are snakes that's really easy to take care of, and they say that those are the beginner snakes. But I would say the best beginner snake for anybody would be the one that you're most interested in. And with that being said, don't go out and get a daggone king cobra or something like that. Yes, they're very interesting, but no, stay away from the venomous stuff, especially for your first snake. So I would say, they say like a corn snake is like always the go-to one for your first snake. And they're pretty cool snakes, but if you're not really into corn snakes like that, then don't get a corn snake. What I would do is, and this is what I did, I would research through all the different kinds of snakes and ones that's good for beginners and whatever they want to call them. I just researched through, and finally I settled on a boa. And the main reason I settled on a boa is because, as Clint would say, they eat like boas. I've had no problems with him eating. He eats every meal, no problem. And as to where with ball pythons, they can go on these food strikes, I guess you could call it, where they don't want to eat. So I picked one that I knew was going to eat good, that got to a good size. And that's another thing, size. If you don't want a real small snake that's going to be, 3-4 foot, you want something a little bigger, ball python could be the way to go. But again, you got the eating problems. Or you could go for a boa that eats good. And on average, from what I've found, they say that most boas stay around 6-7 foot. They do get bigger, but that's like how you got 7 foot tall humans and you got 5 foot tall humans. And if you don't want one that's going to get big, you can always go for the dwarf varieties. But a corn snake, back to the corn snake, they would make really good snakes because they're not too strict on heat and humidity kind of thing. I would still provide a heat source, just not really hot. But again, this is not a care guide or anything. This is just going over good beginner snakes. And then, so we do corn snake, ball pythons, boas. Now I would say, well, with the boas, you got to stay on top of their heat and humidity. That's about the only real thing. Heat, humidity, make sure they got places to hide. Then you can go into, say, like a hognose. They're going to be smaller, and yes, they're rear fang venomous, but that's rear fang. They have to really chew on their prey to get any kind of venom going. So you really don't have to worry about that. And it's a very mild venom. Then you got, so they're going to stay buried a lot, because I would use aspen with them. And they're going to stay up under that a lot, hit a lot. They're not going to be out and about as much as like a corn snake would. Then you could go into, say, like the milk snakes and, oh God, I lose my train of thought on what they're called. But like the milk snakes and the king snakes, they're really cool looking snakes too. And they get to a pretty decent size, some of them. But me, I wanted a snake that was going to get to a good impressive size. And that's going to be fairly easy to take care of. Like I said, heat, humidity. Make sure it's on point and you're good. And at least that's the overall message that I've found with these guys. They're not hard to take care of. But research each snake and learn it as best you can. And then find one that you're most interested in. And that would be your best beginner snake. Nobody really... For me, corn snakes, they're beautiful. They're really pretty and they're cool. But it's just, I just didn't want corn snake. And they eat good as far as I know. But that's about it, man. Just research each one. Find the one that you're most interested in. And go for it. Learn all you can about it. Get you an enclosure. Get it set up right for them. Get it ready for them. And then find your dream corn snake, ball python, boa, whatever it is you want to go with. And I think there's no such thing as beginner snakes. I think it's the one that you're most interested in and what makes sense and works for you. But be careful though. And don't get one like a Burmese python. I wouldn't really recommend that for your first time snake. because they get huge. In my opinion, they're huge. Some people say, oh, they're not that big, but yeah, they're pretty freaking big. I wouldn't go for one of them out the gate. And if you do, just make sure that you have the space for a big enough enclosure for it. I don't have room for a big enough enclosure. This guy is about as big of a snake as I can get, which he's going to get bigger, but as far as the enclosure size, a boa is as big as I could go. And that's pushing it for my little area here. But that's about it. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but if you made it this far, man, you're a real one. And I really appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think about the video. And that's me and Titan signing out. Peace.